I've been lied to a lot on Reddit. So this entire time, people have been telling me, your vote matters. Your vote counts. And then in Texas, down in Dallas, it turns out that they forgot to count 20,000 votes. And so what do all these wonderful Redditors who have been telling me my vote counts and my vote matters have been saying? It's only 20,000 votes. It doesn't matter. And they get angry when you point out that, it's 20,000 votes, it does matter. They say, no, it doesn't matter now. One vote that mattered. 20,000, no, it doesn't matter anymore. So it's very clear now that nobody actually cares about the outcome of any vote, because they're just going to say, it's just 20,000 votes that forgot to be counted. Who cares? So clearly they're just going to let whatever happens happen. And in Texas, as far as I understand, the various local governments are running the primary. So here you have one side losing votes. I'm going to do this. And the other side saying, oh, well, who cares? Who cares that the votes were lost? And then if you read about what's happening, they're going to count the paper ballots. So if you lost control of 20,000 votes, how do we know that you didn't also lose control of those paper ballots? Maybe they walked off just like the thumb drives. The votes were on the thumb drives, 44 thumb drives to be exact. Maybe those ballots walked off and they walked right back without anybody noticing, and nobody cares. Since everybody just assumes that everything's fine and working great. So so this is why it's become very clear that nobody cares. Every single person who's told me, we really care about voting, we really care about your vote, they've been lying to me this entire time, because they obviously do not care. If they cared, they'd be saying, how do we know that any of the vote in Dallas is right? How do we know that other votes didn't walk off and then walk right back in without anybody noticing? We don't. But we know that's happened already. Some votes have walked away and then they were found. So we have to assume it's happened elsewhere and nobody noticed, and then they came back. Once they lose control, anything could have happened to the votes, including the paper ballots. And then you got to wonder, where else is this happening? What if votes walked off in some other county and then they walked right back in? Are we supposed to trust that that didn't happen? We just have to say, well, you can't prove to us that you've had complete control this entire time, that you've been watching them and making sure some people haven't been scurrying in. We just have to go by your word that it's been happening, that everything's fine, and you've been watching the ballots and the votes, and nothing screwy going on. So tell me, somebody please tell me why I shouldn't even vote anymore when I know the votes are just going to walk away. It's not just Texas. It seems to be everywhere. The votes just mysteriously walk away, and they just mysteriously come back. And then these incredibly dumb people say, well, even if the entire electoral system is rigged, all you got to do is vote, because if you vote, maybe the people rigging it will say, hey, these people don't want, and these people are voting for the things that we don't want, so maybe we won't rig the vote anymore. No, they're going to rig the vote. They're not going to suddenly say, well, I guess we're just going to stop rigging the vote now. I don't get it. If this was football and it turned out a referee was being paid, oh man, there'd be riots. There would be riots. He'll say, oh, we got to throw out all the games that referee wasn't in, and everyone would say, oh yeah, we definitely got to do that. But when it comes to voting, yeah, who cares? Your vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter. No, they don't have to prove that the votes aren't being changed. We just have to accept that they probably are being changed. That when you vote, well, it's probably not going to count. But it's okay because you get to pretend that it counts. You get to pretend that it's all working fine. So are we ever going to do anything about it? No. This has been going on for who the hell knows how long. Nobody's done a thing about it. People say, hey, we should do something about it, and then say, well, who cares? People forget about it. I've told people, hey, remember in Georgia the stuff that happened? And people say, no, that didn't happen. That never happened. You're insane. That never happened. I've even had people in the threads about the vote rigging and voter suppression saying that this didn't happen, even though elsewhere in the thread they're saying it's happening. I feel like Todd Howard broke into my house and left a present on the floor. And the present's called Skyrim. I expect this kind of behavior from Todd. But everybody else too. Leave your comments that completely missed the point down below. That happens on Reddit too. I'll say all this stuff and then somebody will just say, vote. Did you read anything I wrote? No, you didn't. Your bot. It must be a bot because they're obviously illiterate. Bots are illiterate, by the way. They can read keywords. Say, oh, this person said not vote. You got to vote. Vote, vote, vote. Maybe they are bots. That would make a lot of sense because they're completely incoherent most of the time. Nothing they say makes it, and nothing these people say make any sense to me. Hey, the vote's rigged. You're not allowed to vote, but you gotta vote. What else pisses me off? Oh yeah, there's voter suppression, and then people say, there is voter suppression, but nobody's being stopped from voting. They admit that people are being stopped from voting, and then they immediately follow it up with saying, oh, everything I just said was a lie. I just don't get it. And I'm just supposed to accept the lies. If you ever post in a politics sub and somebody lies to you, that's okay, but you're not allowed to call out their lies because the mods on there get very angry. But you can lie all you want to other people. Just don't call out their lies. It's bad to call out somebody's lies. You just have to accept their lies as fact. Ooh, I'm getting steamed up here. Sorry about flying off the handle like that. So what to do? What is there to do? That's the name of a book, by the way. You should look it up. The Communist Manifesto. That's the name of a pamphlet. Not a book. I guess it could be a book. Look up the Communist Manifesto. So if you like your vote not being counted, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and call me stupid down in the comments if you think it's great that your votes aren't counted. Oh man, I'm all just peeved off right now.